Poetry lifts the veil from the hidden beauty of the world and makes familiar objects be as if they were not familiar. It is the word of Shelley, Percy Bysshe Shelley. The eldest son of a wealthy country squire, Shelley was born in 1792. From his childhood, he possessed a fierce independence of spirit and bitterly hated all forms of tyranny. At Eton, he read widely, including political theory and romantic tales. At Oxford, he and Thomas More published The Necessity of Atheism and defiantly refused to answer questions about this work put to them by university authorities. So they were expelled from the university. Though he lived a brief life, he had a stormy emotional history. Though he loved quite a few women, there is a curious innocence in his love. He married Harriet Westbrook to save her from parental tyranny. He ran off with Mary Godwin because he loved her. He entertained friendships with other women because he always thought that he saw profound spiritual qualities in ladies he loved. Shelley was a revolutionary and idealist, a dedicated seeker of an ideal world where love and the brotherhood of man would prevail. His poetry expresses his spirit of rebellion, his pervasive melancholy, his love of man and of freedom. He used the objects of nature which he worshipped as images of his internal state. What makes Shelley a great poet is the sheer music and matchless spontaneity of his verse. Few poets have matched his clear flowing melody and his lyric suggestion of a sublime world beyond the physical which man has never seen but which he knows must exist. His world stirs up sensations which bring each reader to the mystery of life, the attempt to find something beyond the present and tangible. The following list of his works designed to call attention to his greatest achievements: Queen Mab, published in 1813, The Revolt of Islam in 1817, The Census in 1819, Prometheus Unbound 1819, Ode to the West Wind 1819, The Cloud 1820, To a Skylark 1820, Adonis 1821. Percy Bysshe Shelley 1792, July 8. His lyrical poems are a form of poetry that does not attempt to tell a story but is of a more personal nature instead. He is perhaps most famous of such anthology pieces as Ozymandias, Ode to the West Wind, To a Skylark, The Masque of Anarchy. Shelley's unconventional life and uncompromising idealism, combined with his strong skeptical voice, which made him a notorious and much denigrated figure during his life. He became the idol of the next 2 or 3 generations of poets, including the major Victorian and pre-Raphaelite poets Robert Browning, Alfred Tennyson, Dante Gabriel Rossetti, Algernon, Charles Swinburne, as well as William Butler Yeats, W.B. Yeats. He is famous for his association with contemporaries John Keats and John Byron, and ultimately death at a young age was common to all three. He was married to the famous novelist Mary Shelley, author of Frankenstein in 1818, and In 1814, Shelley fell in love and eloped with Mary, the 16-year-old daughter of William Godwin and Mary Wollstonecraft. For the next few years, the couple travelled in Europe. Shelley continued to be involved in politics and in 1817 wrote the pamphlet A Proposal for Putting Reform to the Vote throughout the United Kingdom. In the pamphlet, Shelley suggested a national referendum on electoral reform and improvements in working class education. Overview of Shelley's poetry. Shelley's singer of lyrics. Shelley's love of nature. Shelley's myth-making power. His idealism and symbolism. Shelley, poet of love. Shelley's philosophy of life. The central thematic concerns of Shelley's poetry are largely the same themes that define Romanticism, especially among the younger English poets of Shelley's era. Beauty, the passions, nature, political liberty, creativity, and the sanctity of imagination. What makes Shelley's treatment of these themes unique is his philosophical relationship to his subject matter. Shelley fervently believed in the possibility of realizing an ideal of human happiness as based on beauty and his moments of darkness and despair. He had many, particularly in book-length poems such as the monumental Queen Mab, almost always stem from the disappointment at seeing that ideal sacrificed to human weakness. Shelley's intense feelings about beauty and expression are documented in poems such as Ode to the West Wind and To a Skylark, in which he invokes metaphors from nature to characterize his relationship to his art. The center of his aesthetic philosophy can be found in his important essay, A Defense of Poetry, in which he argues that poetry brings about moral good. Poetry, Shelley argues, exercises and expands the imagination, and the imagination is the source of sympathy, compassion, and love, which rests on the ability to project oneself into the position of another person. Themes of Shelley's poetry. The heroic, visionary role of the poet. The power of human mind. Autumn. Ghosts and spirits. Christ. Mont Blanc. The West Wind. The statue of Ozymandias. The heroic, visionary role of the poet. In Shelley's poetry, the figure of the poet, and to some extent the figure of Shelley himself, is not simply a talented entertainer or even a perceptive moralist, but a grand, tragic, prophetic hero. The poet has a deep mystic appreciation for nature, as in the poem To Wordsworth, and this intense connection with the natural world gives him access to profound cosmic truth, as in Alastor or the Spirit of Solitude, which was published in 1816. He has the power and the duty to translate these truths through the use of his imagination into poetry, but only a kind of poetry that the public can understand. Thus, his poetry becomes a kind of prophecy, and through his words, a poet has the ability to change the world from the better and to bring about political, social, and spiritual change. Shelley's poet is a near divine savior comparable to Prometheus, who stole divine fire and gave it to humans in Greek mythology, and to Christ. The power of the human mind. Shelley uses nature as his primary source of poetic inspiration in such poems as The Mask of Anarchy, written on the occasion of the massacre at Manchester, and the Ode to the West Wind. Shelley suggests that the natural world holds a sublime power over his imagination. It is the imagination or our ability to form sensory perceptions that allows us to describe nature in different, original ways, which helps to shape how nature appears and therefore how it exists. Thus, the power of human mind becomes equal to the power of nature, and the experience of beauty in the natural world becomes a kind of collaboration between the perceiver and the perceived. Autumn, Ghosts and Spirits. In hymns to intellectual beauty, the speaker searches for ghosts and explains that ghosts are one of the ways men have tried to interpret the world beyond. The speaker of Mont Blanc encounters ghosts and the shadows of real natural objects in the cave of poesy. Christ. From his days at Oxford, Shelley felt deeply doubtful about the organized religion, particularly Christianity. Yet in his poetry, he often represents the poet as a Christ-like figure, and thus set the poet up as a secular replacement for Christ. Mont Blanc, name of mountain. For Shelley, Mont Blanc, the highest peak in the Alps, represents the eternal power of nature. Mont Blanc has existed forever and it will last forever. An idea he explores is Mont Blanc. The west wind. Shelley uses the west wind to symbolize the power of nature and of the imagination inspired by nature. The statue of Ozymandias. In Shelley's work, the statue of the ancient Egyptian pharaoh Ramses II or Ozymandias symbolizes political tyranny. The broken monument also represents the decay of civilization and culture. The statue is, after all, a human construction, a piece of art made by a creator, and now it and its creator have been destroyed, as all living things are eventually destroyed. Shelley's exploits. Published The Necessity of Atheism, eloped with 16-year-old Harriet Worsbrook, daughter named Lanthe, often left wife and child, met Mary Wollstonecraft Godwin. Shelley's complicated life. Left pregnant wife for 16-year-old Mary. 16-year-old Mary. Traveled to Switzerland. Claire pregnant with Byron's child. Mary Shelley began working on Frankenstein. Shelley took Claire and daughter to Venice. Losses and views. Son and daughter died. Wrote Adonais upon Keats' death. Wrote essay on radical political views. Essay on vegetarianism. Believed in rights of all living things. Shelley's work. Ozymandias, Ode to the West Wind, The Mask of Anarchy, To a Skylark, Prometheus Unbound. Shelley's death. Drowned during storm at 29, possibly assassinated, body washed ashore, wife kept Shelley's hurt, Shelley cremated on beach, ashes buried in rock. Went out boating with a buddy while partying at Byron's place, boat capsized, Shelley drowned, body cremated except for the hurt which Mary kept. Shelley had a book of Keats' poem on him when he died. A London newspaper took great delight in announcing Shelley's death, writing, Shelley, the writer of some infidel poetry, has been drowned. Now he knows whether there is a God or not. Okay, this is all about P.B. Shelley.